Reflections of you kept mouthing words you hadn't yet spoken, as if they were rehearsing the future you hadn't lived. The silence in your room felt alive, growing heavier with every breath you dared to take. Shadows stretched toward you in patterns that looked almost like hands reaching for your skin. You woke to find a message scratched into the ceiling above your bed. We are awake too. The laughter of children echoed down the empty street long past midnight, though no footsteps followed. Your phone buzzed with a message from your number. Don't go outside tonight. The mirror fogged over on its own, spelling words you didn't want to read. Footsteps circled your bed, but stopped the instant you listened. You felt a hand tugging your blanket, gentle at first, then forceful. A whisper said your name, but it came from inside your chest. Every photograph of you blinked when you weren't looking. You woke with dirt beneath your fingernails and a shovel at the door. Someone hummed your favorite song from the attic, only you don't have one. A clock chimed 13 times, then shattered itself. Your reflection smiled wider than your mouth could ever stretch. The air in your room tasted of smoke, but no fire burned. You swore you heard a voice counting down from 10 in the dark. The stars above spelled your name in patterns you couldn't ignore. A second shadow followed you even when you stood still. The doorknob rattled violently, though you hadn't locked it. You found a note in your handwriting telling you not to trust yourself. Every doll in the house turned its head toward you at once. A whisper sighed in your ear, "I've been waiting so long." You woke to find footprints circling your bed in fresh mud. The ceiling dripped water, but it tasted like salt tears. You opened your eyes to see someone standing over you, but they dissolved into mist. A voice whispered from the mirror, "Don't blink this time." You smelled perfume, the one from your childhood home, but no one was near. The shadows under the door moved like something crawling. You blinked, and the painting on your wall had changed. The silence whispered louder than any scream could. A child's laughter echoed, though you were the only one awake. You saw your breath in the dark, though the air was warm. The closet door creaked open inch by inch. Even after you closed it, you woke to the sound of your own voice singing from another room. The ground pulsed under your feet like a living heartbeat. A whisper begged you not to leave the room. The reflection behind you wasn't moving in sync anymore. You tasted metal, though no blood touched your tongue. A knock on the wall answered every thought in your head. You heard someone crying softly under the floorboards. The lights flickered to form the word, "Stay." A shadow passed the window, but you live on the 10th floor. You woke with rope burns around your wrists. The TV turned on to static, spelling your name in white noise. You heard footsteps above, though you have no upstairs. The reflection mouthed, "Not yet." You felt breath on your neck that wasn't your own. Someone whispered your secret, the one no one else knows. You dreamed of drowning, then coughed up seawater in bed. Every door slammed shut at once, sealing you in. The radio played a song you remember from your funeral. A handprint appeared on the glass, on the inside. You saw yourself standing outside your window, smiling. A whisper echoed, "This isn't your body anymore." You woke to ashes scattered across your pillow. The walls of your room pulsed like they were breathing. You found a diary filled with tomorrow's memories. A lullaby drifted from a locked drawer. Your reflection mouthed, "We're almost here." You felt invisible fingers brush your ankle under the covers. A shadow crouched at the end of your bed, waiting. Every candle in the house lit itself at once. You woke with bruises shaped like hands around your arms. Someone whispered, "Bless you," after you sneezed, alone. The mirror cracked as if something behind it pressed outward. You heard laughter from the empty bathroom. The clock ticked backwards, second by second. A voice whispered, "You shouldn't have looked back." You saw teeth gleam in the darkness where no face was. The wallpaper peeled to reveal eyes staring through. You woke with feathers scattered around your bed. Your phone displayed a live feed of you sleeping. A whisper in the dark asked, "May I come closer?" The door opened, but no one had touched it. A scream rattled through the pipes beneath your house. You smelled earth and found dirt in your mouth. The ceiling fan spelled words in the dust above. A pale figure stood behind you in the reflection only. The walls whispered in a chorus of your voice. You woke to find scratches, spelling run on the floor. Someone tucked you in, but you live alone. You heard heavy chains dragging across the roof. A whisper sighed. You weren't supposed to wake up. The shadows of your hands moved before you did. The ground outside rippled like water. You woke to find your pillow soaked with tears. A child's voice whispered, "I see you." The photographs on the wall had all turned away. Your reflection stepped back when you leaned closer. A shadow crouched in the corner, still watching. You felt someone braiding your hair in the dark. The stars blinked out one by one. A whisper laughed with your laugh. You saw footprints leading to your bed, none leaving. The lights dimmed, spelling your name across the walls. A door appeared in your hallway that wasn't there before. You dreamed of fire and woke with burns. The mirror smiled long after you stopped. A voice whispered, "Don't answer the knock." The ground beneath you thudded like a second heartbeat. You found ashes shaped like a body at your feet. The ceiling dripped, but the liquid was red. You heard someone whisper, "Wake up again." Your shadow waved without you moving. A whisper echoed from inside your chest, "Not enough." The TV showed a live feed of tomorrow. You woke to dirt piled beneath your nails. A whisper said, "Stop pretending to be alive." Your phone vibrated with your own name calling. A pale hand reached from under the bed. The wallpaper shifted, showing faces beneath. You felt breath on your eyelids as you slept. A whisper begged, "Switch places with me." The reflection lingered even after you walked away. You found scratches across your back. The ground outside moaned in pain. A lullaby drifted from the mirror itself. You saw someone sleeping in your bed, yourself. A whisper said, "Let me out now." You woke to find someone else's heartbeat in your chest. Every clock in the house struck midnight at once. The doorbell rang, but no one was there except you. A shadow leaned closer when you closed your eyes. You smelled perfume, the one she wore the night she died. A whisper echoed, "We've always been here." You woke with claw marks across your arms. The ceiling above you pulsed like it was alive. You heard your name spoken in reverse. A shadow lingered at the foot of your bed. You found your reflection, staring even with your eyes closed. The floor spelled "Help me" in dust. A voice whispered, "You're almost mine." You woke in a room identical to yours, but wrong. The mirror whispered secrets you never told. You felt someone kiss your forehead in the dark. The walls trembled with the sound of breathing. A whisper said, "This body doesn't fit you." You saw yourself standing outside the window. Reflections of you kept mouthing words you hadn't yet spoken, as if they knew your future before you did. You heard your name whispered from the hallway, but when you looked, only silence waited like it had been watching. A photograph on your desk shifted, the faces rearranging themselves into people you've never met. You dreamed of fire consuming your home, then woke with soot beneath your fingernails. The laughter of children echoed through your empty house, each giggle closer than the last. Every clock in your home froze at the same second, but you swore you heard one still ticking behind the walls. You turned off the light, but your shadow lingered long after, waving goodbye. A knock came from your mirror, soft at first, then desperate, begging to be let out. You woke to the smell of earth, and dirt was scattered across your sheets. The sound of someone breathing matched yours, but the rhythm was just slightly off. You answered the phone only to hear yourself ask, "Can you hear me now?" Every star outside blinked out at once, leaving only your window glowing in the dark. The reflection in your spoon grinned wider than your mouth ever could. Someone tucked you in at night, but you live alone. The wallpaper peeled itself back slowly, revealing words scratched into the plaster. A cold hand brushed your cheek, leaving ice that burned into your skin. The floor creaked under invisible footsteps circling your bed. A lullaby hummed itself from the attic, even though no one was there. You woke to the sound of your window unlocking itself from the inside. A voice whispered, "Don't move," just as the lights went out. The shadows of your room arranged themselves into something watching. You blinked, and the painting on your wall frowned back at you. A music box wound itself and began to play the tune from your dreams. The doorbell rang, and a voice whispered through the keyhole, "It's me." You heard chains dragging across the ceiling above your head. Your phone displayed a live video of you sleeping, though it wasn't recording. A stranger's reflection appeared in your window, though no one stood outside. The ground pulsed beneath your feet, beating like a second heart. You smelled smoke, but the air was still and clean. The silence of the room grew heavier as if listening back. Someone was humming your favorite song just outside your door. Your reflection mouthed, "Run," before you even thought it. A handprint appeared on the steamed mirror, dragging slowly downward. You found scratches on the floor, spelling out your name. The lights flickered in a pattern that spelled leave. Your phone rang, but when you answered, only your breathing echoed back. The footsteps behind you grew louder the faster you ran. A child's voice whispered, "Don't look behind you." You woke with feathers scattered across your bed. Someone whispered "bless you" after you sneezed, but no one was there. You felt fingers braid your hair in the dark. The reflection in the window blinked, but you hadn't. Every photograph of you on the wall slowly turned to face the floor. A shadow crossed the ceiling, though nothing moved below. You woke to a second pillow indented, as if someone had been sleeping beside you. A diary you never owned appeared on your desk, already filled with your life story. The moon outside your window seemed closer, almost breathing. Someone whispered your secret, the one you never told anyone. Your childhood toy appeared at the foot of your bed, smiling. You woke to ashes scattered across your pillow. A candle lit itself, then blew out without wind. The floor thumped like footsteps pacing underneath you. You smelled perfume, her perfume, but she's been gone for years. A door you never noticed before stood open in your hallway. The TV flickered static, shaping words. "I see you." You dreamed of drowning, then woke coughing seawater. A pale hand reached out from under your bed. The stars spelled your name across the night sky. You unlocked your closet only to see yourself inside. A whisper breathed into your ear. "Wake up again." The walls of your room began whispering in your own voice. You turned your head and saw yourself still staring forward. Every plant in your house grew overnight into faces. The clock struck 13, then stopped forever. You woke in your car, parked miles from home. The shadows around you bent away from the flashlight beam. You felt hands holding yours beneath the covers. A knock echoed from inside your walls. Your photo album showed pictures of you that haven't happened yet. The ground outside your window rippled like water. A whisper repeated the last word you spoke. Your heartbeat didn't sound like your own anymore. A scream rang out, but only silence followed. You dreamed of falling, then woke with bruises. A second toothbrush appeared by your sink. Someone carved "Welcome home" into your door overnight. The reflection in the glass smiled long after you stopped. You tasted blood, though you hadn't been hurt. A voice whispered, "You're not alone right now." You felt breath against your neck in the dark. The air grew heavy, pressing down as if unseen hands held it. You heard humming from the basement, but the door was locked. A candle's flame stretched tall, reaching toward you. You saw eyes blink in the corner of the room. The lights spelled your name before going out. You tasted salt water, though you hadn't cried. The radio played a song from your funeral. You found teeth scattered on the kitchen floor. A whisper echoed, "It's my turn now." You saw yourself standing in the doorway, smiling, The wallpaper pulsed like it had veins beneath it. Your phone typed, "Don't look outside." You heard a knock, 3 times, but the door stayed empty. Someone whispered your name from under the floorboards. The ceiling fan whispered in words you couldn't understand. You found dirt beneath your fingernails when you woke. A reflection mouthed, "I've been waiting." The floor spelled run as it creaked beneath you. You sneezed, and the voice whispered, "Not this time." The mirror showed your room empty, though you stood in it. A shadow waved from the corner before vanishing. You felt a tear roll down your cheek, but you weren't crying. The stars outside blinked in unison with your eyes. You woke with mud on your shoes. Someone whispered, "Don't turn around." You heard chains dragging behind you. A face appeared in the static on the TV. You dreamed of being chased and woke with claw marks. The doorknob turned slowly on its own. You found tomorrow's date scratched into the wall. A whisper sighed, "It's already too late." You saw someone sitting in your car from the window. The ground beneath you shook like something crawling. You tasted ash, though nothing burned. Your diary wrote itself overnight. A second voice joined yours when you laughed. The mirror cracked, but only where your reflection smiled. You woke with a handprint burned into your arm. A lullaby played on a piano you don't own. The shadows crawled up your walls like vines. You smelled blood in the air with no source. A child's giggle echoed from your closet. The reflection tapped on the glass to get your attention. You felt fingers brushing your ankle under the covers. A photo on your desk changed to show you sleeping. The silence suddenly ended with your name whispered. Your reflection turned away before you did. The wallpaper shifted, showing faces beneath.